The condition we're talking about is called AFM, acute flaccid myelitis, and it's something doctors don't know a whole lot about. It's concerning because it can cause weakness and paralysis in the arms and legs of children. Now we know of a sixth possible case, which is in Skagit County. There are 2 suspected cases in King County, 1 in Pierce County, 1 in Lewis County, and 1 in Snohomish County. I just spoke with one of the health officials leading the state response, and she has a message for parents.
We understand that this is really concerning, especially for parents, because all of the cases we've seen in Washington, at least, have been in children under the age of 6. It can definitely be concerning for parents. But what I want to remind everyone is that this is actually very rare. It happens in less than 1 in 1 million people. So it's very rare, but it is important to pay attention for the symptoms. And if you do notice that your child or anyone has a sudden onset of weakness or paralysis in 1 or more arms or legs, then they should seek health care right away.
Notice we keep saying suspected and possible cases. That's because the CDC is taking some time to make a firm diagnosis. They don't have a lot of information or history to work with here, so they're not going to have an answer right away. Doctors, meanwhile, are treating the symptoms in those possible cases for those children in Washington state. They're doing that while waiting for an answer from the CDC. It was only in 2014 that the state of Washington started seeing an uptick in cases, so they don't have a lot of history to work with. In the newsroom, Ted Land, King 5 News.